There was no way there was a flaw like that in the Death Star. Absolutely not. I stand corrected. What's up, guys? Jared here with another guest review, and we're going to talk about Star Wars! Woo! Anyways, let's get into it. So Rogue One, A Star Wars Story is a Star Wars movie. Everyone knows that. Everyone's seen it probably 10 times. But here's a quick refresher. Rogue One starts with the introduction of Galen Erso, whose father is Galen Erso, who is a research scientist hiding from the Empire. He is then taken away by Orson Krennic to finish the Empire's superweapon. You guessed it, the Infinity Gauntlet. Whoa. Wrong Disney franchise. The Death Star. Fast forward 13 years, and Jyn is rescued from an Imperial labor camp and is taken to the Rebel Alliance. It is her mission to find her father and return with the Death Star plans. As the story continues, we find our heroes on the planet of Scarif in an all-out war trying to transmit the stolen Death Star plans back to the Rebels. So I know Rogue One gets a lot of hate from some people, but after rewatching it, this might be one of my favorite Star Wars movies. Now, one of the reasons is because that this kind of expands the Star Wars universe, or kind of brings things in from the novels or comics, such as like the mention of the Guardians of the Whills, Saw Gerrera from the Clone Wars, and then also Kyber crystals play a large role in this movie. It is actually revealed that the Death Star is powered by Kyber crystals, so like all of this stuff in this movie really helps out the overall lore of Star Wars. The cinematography is just another thing that's amazing in Rogue One. The way that it shows the battle or conflict on Jedha, or the 3 different scenarios that are happening on or above Scarif, is really one of the Star Wars staples. The last 40 minutes or so of this movie is truly enthralling because it's an all-out war movie. People are getting blasted, there's sacrifices. Honestly, this might be the darkest Star Wars movie we've gotten so far. And the way that everything really works together, they have to blast the gate to get through, they have to get down to Scarif, they have to find the plans, and then they have to transmit those plans back to the Rebels. Just everything really worked perfectly there. Another notable aspect of Rogue One was the visual effects. Now, the CGI is really good. There's some other visual effects that were really appealing, but the one thing I'm really talking about is the recreation of Grand Moff Tarkin. Wait, that guy is still alive? He's got to be like 100 by now. Well, not exactly. I mean, he has passed away, but Disney and ILM did the impossible and brought this character back to the big screen, and it was surprisingly good. Mind you, I did know about the recreation, so I knew that it wasn't really a real character, but some of the other people that I've talked to or saw the movie with, they didn't know that it was basically a made-up person. Besides Tarkin, they actually did bring back another character from A New Hope, and it was done seamlessly. Like, I actually bought that as the real character. Lastly, this movie has some top 10 scenes in this movie. Like, crazy stuff is happening. Seriously, there's some scenes that will blow you away. Okay, there's like this one scene where they bring this other character back. It's truly frightening. I don't like to get into spoilers. I really want to tell you guys about this. I'll just reenact it. Now, I wouldn't compare Rogue One to the prequels at all, but there were some aspects of this movie that just did not work. Almost everything with Saw Gerrera just felt like it was forced into the movie, and it just felt meaningless. I mean, it's no Canto Bight, but Forrest Whitaker's performance just felt odd. It didn't mesh with any other parts of the movie, and the weird CGI squid thing used on Bodhi completely takes you out of the movie because there's no explanation. Another thing was the pacing of this movie. The middle part of this movie does feel like it drags a bit. I mean, once we get into about the last 40 minutes of this movie where they're on Scarif, things are really cranked up, but you have to really slug through some of the other stuff to get to that part. Overall, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story puts the war into Star Wars and is really this action-packed addition to the Star Wars franchise. With the movie expanding on the lore, some solid cinematography, some superb visual effects, and it just having some amazing scenes, but with Saw Gerrera's character not really meshing with the film and some pacing issues. Seriously, go watch Rogue One if you haven't already seen it. Everything is really great in this movie. It's truly a war movie, and Felicity Jones, what's up? So what do you think of Rogue One, A Star Wars Story? Is this movie one of your top picks in the Star Wars franchise? Or does this kind of remind you of the prequels and the characters really don't grab your attention? Now I want to hear about it in the comments below. As always, you can find me on the social medias at Jared Buckendahl on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Stardust. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel